Welcome back to Askewed Reviews. And this is my first trivia review of 2025. And today it'll be for the 2009 film Nine. Here is your trivia question for today. When the surviving dolls think they have won, what song do they play on the record player? The answer will be at the end of this episode. So let's say you wake up in a post apocalyptic world where it's kind of like World War II, except humanity has designed machines to help them defeat their enemies. Unfortunately, those machines have now turned on humanity and are taking all of them out. Oh, right, I forgot to mention, when you wake up, you are actually a tiny rag doll that has no name but only a number. Now, don't worry, you're not completely alone in this world. Yes, all of the humans are gone, but there are other rag dolls with numbers, some of them helpful, some of them definitely not. Also, along with those dolls, you also have the horrifying machines that for some reason are hellbent on taking all of you and your kind out. But don't worry, you start off this journey with a device that who knows, maybe it'll destroy everything, or maybe it'll save everything. And that would be the basic premise for the movie Nine. This movie was directed by Shane Acker. This was also his directorial debut. Now, Acker did in fact make Nine as a 10-minute short film originally while he was at UCLA. It was nominated for Best Animated Short at the Oscars. It did not end up winning, but because of this, he was offered a chance to make it into a feature length film. This movie had quite a few great people attached to it, including having Tim Burton as one of the producers and Danny Elfman as the composer. We also can't forget to talk about the amazing voiceover cast that made up the nine main characters. Also, something interesting you may not have noticed, but throughout the film, only the end sequence has all nine characters together. So, first off, as our primary character of nine, we have Elijah Wood, who, by the way, was their first choice for that character. As one, we had Christopher Plummer. As two, there was Martin Landau. Three and four did not have voiceovers, but that's because they were non speaking roles. As five, you have John C. Reilly. Six was Crispin Glover. Seven was portrayed by Jennifer Connelly. And finally, as eight, a regular to voiceover work, Fred Tedashori. Additionally, as the voice of the scientist was Alan Oppenheimer, who is in fact the cousin of J. Robert Oppenheimer, the father of the atomic bomb. Here are some additional things about the film you may not have noticed or were aware of. The movie Nine released on September 9th of 2009, literally 999. The clock at the Notre Dame Church is actually stuck at 909. The original script had a sequence where Nine's soul would get pulled into the fabrication machine and end up discovering that the machine was Zero. The band Coheed and Cambria, which I'm actually a big fan of, saw a huge rise in their popularity due to the fact that the trailer for this film used their song Welcome Home in it. So when it comes to the film Nine, I absolutely love this movie. For a film that feels like it should kind of be a kid's movie, it is very dark and it has a wonderfully rich story. So I absolutely recommend checking this one out, and I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. If you like this movie, other films I recommend checking out are Coraline, Final Fantasy The Spirits Within, Wizards, and Mad God. Now it's time to answer the trivia question from the beginning of this episode. When the surviving dolls think they have won, what song do they play on the record player? So before anyone can jump on me about this, yes, I realize it's technically a phonograph, but I'm going to call it a record player anyway. Now, the song that they play that ends up being their celebration song is Over the Rainbow, sung by Judy Garland from the film The Wizard of Oz. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Askewed Reviews. And if there's another film that you'd like to hear a bunch of trivia about, feel free to let me know in the comments.